Let's move on. The next player on the list. This one is the one we've all been waiting for. Pele, coming in at number 4. Number 4. He missed out.
Pele came in. Pele didn't make the top 3.
This is what I do to that list.
And wallahi, it's making me doubt one of my decisions on the list.
Abdullah, you had him 4th on your list.
I should have had him second. I should have had him second. He should swap. Yeah, he should swap.
You had him second on your list.
Of course, second. Only because there's only one player. Because I don't get to the first player. Nigga, he won the World Cup 3 times.
Yeah. Most World Cups, and the first one at 17.
17 years old as the best player on the field.
Yeah.
He was injured the next couple years later. Guess what? They didn't even make the World Cup. You know that? They didn't even make the World Cup.
Yeah, I should have put him higher.
And you know what? Let me just say this. The point about people saying playing in the Brazilian league and not playing Europe, Brazil was the Europe of the time. That was the best league.
He never wanted to play anywhere else.
That's why
they used to go around Europe doing tours.
Yeah.
The best Brazilian team.
That's why in Captain Majid in the show, where does Captain Majid want to go play?
That's a good point. Roll the back,
where do you want to go play? He wants to go to Brazil. They were making the show back then.
This is Captain Tsubasa for you guys who don't know.
You're talking about impact on game. They win the World Cup. They don't make it to the World Cup.
Yeah, that's
you see the difference?
But does it also tell you about the level? How one player could carry a team like that? He was playing against.
We're talking about carrying a team, but that's the definition.
By the way, he was a midfielder, yeah?
I thought Pele was. Pele was. He might have been the goalkeeper as far as we know. You know what I'm saying? This nigga was Galib on Galib.
Over 1,000 goals, from midfield. What is
over 1,000 goals he scored.
1,200 or something.
1,200 goals. This nigga was having fun.
He was counting the ones in training.
And you know,
guys, that's the thing. Like it's like the 1,200 goal. I'm just like, bro, where's he? How many goals is scoring a game?
I'm wondering who he's playing against. I'm wondering who he's playing against.
You know what?
Hey, listen. By the way, if you crack that farmer's joke one more time,
hey.
Think about another one, brother.
You know what Pele was on? You know why Pele was on? Because you know when you go play indoor sometimes and the ref doesn't know the name, so he just, like, let's just say Azam scores, yeah? But I scored 2 goals. He'll put Azam's goal under my name, say, yeah, they scored that goal. That's what I'm thinking, because this guy scored
But the fact that he scored that many goals, bro.
It makes me think who's playing it, yeah?
Who's he playing?
Muhammad, he played it in 3. He won the World Cup in the 50s, in the 60s and 1970. So he dominated all those generations. That's first of all. He dominated over 3 generations of football. That's first of all. Second of all, you know, in 2004, the FIFA released a book, Top 100 Players, written by Pele. The book actually written by him. They told him, write the book of the top 100 players of all time. He chose them. Because there's no dispute about who's number 1.
Why does the debate exist between him and...
Nah, don't talk about that guy yet. Don't say that name.
All right, let's move on. I guess we've had. Let's move on. I guess we've had enough of Pele. So, do you guys think he should be higher or lower, though?
I think he should be higher.
He should not be.
I think he should be higher.
He's not. The fact that he's not second is blasphemous.
You know, after I sent my list in, I was like,
blasphemous.
Should have.
But you know, in terms of stats, you know, when we go on, like we're not gonna get on stats. We're not gonna do this. Those stats, bro. You can't even disagree with those stats, bro. They're so high.
Speaking about Pele and him being that high, it's because in general, every football fan thinks the World Cup is the highest level of football. But is that really true?
It is.
Back then it was.
No. Back then maybe.
Now it's not the Champions League.
Now it definitely isn't.
Because it's Champions League.
Now it definitely isn't. Champions League. I'll tell you why. World Cup, the teams don't see, the squads don't meet up as much. They don't, even the football that you watch in the World Cup, it's literally the team with the best players can automatically, because they're top players, they can play the best football and win the tournament.
Abdullah's making such a great point.
That's what it is.
Pele won the World Cup when it was the
mattered.
thing.
When it mattered.
That's all players were waiting for. Now the Champions League sort of
the Champions League is
so teams are getting ready.
No, we're not going to argue that. No, the Champions League is so much harder to win.
Yeah.
I agree.
It should be the highest
level
of football.
But the World Cup was what every team was waiting for back then. Back then it was called the European Cup. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
For us, it's hard to understand what the World Cup was. The World Cup, like our fathers used to listen to it in the village Africa on radio and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, my dad used to tell me, like, it was that.
It's the biggest
thing. It was the biggest thing they wait for, and this nigga was eating niggas for breakfast.
Champions League now is so hard to win. Would winning that World Cup in the 70s, that's easier?
No, as Abdullah, no, wallah. The only part I'm joking is like at halftime. I hate like I saw the book I was reading. That book, they're talking about players having secrets and shit at halftime.
Yeah, exactly right.
Like
that's what I'm saying.
In that aspect, I can understand where maybe you could say, but the analogy you gave was really weird.
I'm saying
like winning Champions League now is hard, but like I said, FC, like. Because the back-to-back, like the Europe beat them
Yeah,
at home and away, all that shit. But it's like the
And
Champions
not
League being
just that.
over-glorified. But the World Cup is still the World Cup.
The level of players, Hassanin. The level of players. Every player in each position is a super athlete. It's hard to win. It's hard to win. Pele was playing against niggas that couldn't keep up with him.
Yeah, but
He was
you
the
can only-
quickest, he was
all
the
you can
strongest,
do- all you
that's why
can-
he was the best.
All you can do is play. You know, in two sports, in football, there's only two sports where there's a unanimous GOAT. That's in football and in basketball. With Jordan and Pele.
Let's move on. Let's move on into the top three.
In the argument now.
Making number 3, we have got Diego Maradona.
Class.
Number 3,
Number 3. Don't worry,
Have
we'll
a
get into
guess.
that
Messi
soon.
Ronaldo, number 2. Over Maradona.
Number 3, Maradona.
Over Maradona? Maratona's on top, not the top for everyone's list?
And by the way, he's 11 points behind the second.
So, Wallah Azim.
Yeah.
Maradona was one. I'm going to make 1 point by Maradona. Yeah?
On everyone's
you-
list,
you get-
except Mohamed Rees's list, by the way.
You want to talk about a player that carried a team?
That's the definition
You want
of
to
it.
talk about a player that carried a team? That carried 2 teams. The Argentina team and the Napoli team.
The Napoli team was
Yeah.
insane.
Napoli team. This team was unheard of. They're playing the European Cup final 1 year later after he arrives. You guys trying to compare this guy? Have you guys ever watched Maradona highlights? He's the only combination of greatness, taking skill, Galib, and this thing gets to get hacked. I told you, I always tell you guys, watch the 1987, I think or 88, European Cup final. Napoli, I think 86, is it? No, 96 World Cup. European Cup final. Napoli versus Bayern Munich. Wallah al-Azim. In the first half, he gets chopped. 3 minutes should be got red carded, and guess what? They got 1 yellow card. This thing gets hacked. Left, right, center. He carried a team to a World Cup final. You know what I'm saying? And he was just such a great player, bro.
What about the handball, brother? The goal, the handball, brother.
Did you see the other goal he scored in that same game?
Doesn't matter, bro.
The,
When I saw the
the
handball.
goal of the century, man.
He scored the goal of the same game, but people talk about the goal they touched with his hand. Nigga, he see the first goal he scored in the first half?
One of the most iconic players. I gotta say that Maradona is probably the only player, if we're talking that, trying to bring someone from the graves, you know, from back in the day. This guy, I reckon, is the only player that you could bring into modern football and he can just slot in adly.
And he'll be on Messi's.
And that's a point I was gonna make. His ability to carry a team back then, it's obviously attributed to him because he was that good. But if you put Messi there, he would do the same because the opposition isn't like 11 athletes like now. That's why Messi can't.
Nah. Abdullah. These guys, the tackles this guy used to cop, the dribbling he was doing. Bro, imagine this. Some guy's coming to end his career. He's gonna slide tackle
Because
him,
in
and he would just
2012,
shift
2013,
past him.
Messi was copying the same thing.
Yeah,
from
I know.
Real
Even
Madrid.
the ankle. Have you seen the photo? of the ankle?
Abdullah, this is the point Hassan was gonna make. You can only play the players that you're with at the time.
I know.
So,
President Funny,
because if we do the argument, it's just gonna go back and forth.
go back and forth.
But what I'm saying is,
You compare the person's
this guy
game-
wants him top. This guy wants him top.
You
I think
compare-
Messi's better.
No.
It's the same.
You compare the person's game according to his game. You take his game and put it in the next era. You don't say, oh, he would have done this if he was in this era. You can't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We take Maradona's game and we put Maradona's game here. You can't say Messi's game in the 80s. Messi in the 80s, I like...
He would eat him alive just like Maradona.
I don't think he would have.
I think he would.
100%.
I think he would. I really think he would. Because they are. Look, the only reason I say that is because they're so similar, bro.
Has
Exact
Messi
same
ever
player.
carried a team by himself?
Yes.
You're talking about Iniesta and Xavi. Always, what are you saying, man? These guys play with great teams. Tell me one
Hassan,
other player.
You speak like you haven't seen Messi's goals where he takes
Tell me
5
one
niggas on
other
and
player.
scores.
Okay, I'll agree with you. Tell me one other player in any Maradona team. One other player. One. Just give me one other player.
Like, the room went silent.
One player.
Hassan, we never watched him like
No.
But what does that mean, Zato? What does that even mean? Is he the most important player? We all know he's the most important player.
Ortega did. No.
No, what he's trying to say is, Messi, you can but Messi, you can say, you can. Abdullah, you can say a player that contributed to his greatness.
Hassanin, are you really gonna say? Are you really gonna say that today's football is not harder?
Of course I am. But tell me just one other player Maradona played. Just one.
Guys, people, I reckon, born like 10, 15 years after would have told you the whole team. But it's just because it's like us right now. We're talking about the Brazilian team. We could talk about the 06 team. We're around then, guys. We're young, but we heard these names. We saw the little highlights and stuff. Right? If you had someone born 15 years later, they would have told you the whole team in Argentina and the Napoli team.
Do you think any of the Champions League that Barcelona have won, the final at Wembley against Manchester United, do you think anybody's gonna say, oh wow, Iniesta and Xavi and Messi? It's just Messi. That's it.
Big game.
how it is.
Messi World Cup final. He buckled,
He
bro.
did not.
Higuain buckled, mate. Come on, bro.
Higuain, bro.
Higuain is the one that chucked that trophy out the window. Bro.
No, Wallah, that guy had a shocker.
Higuain laid an egg. Even though
Abdullah expected Messi more.
Messi, wallahi, boys, in big games, Messi hides, bro. Wallahi, he does sometimes. It's a Thierry Henry factor. You know Thierry Henry?
No.
That's not even the World Cup. That's only on the World
Thierry
Cup.
Henry is different.
Thierry Henry,
Messi's not-
before the big, it was a final. You father missing person before the game starts.
Hey,
But listen.
Got too far with the
yeah, go say what you can say.
I'll say this. The only reason I was trying to say Messi is because the players are too similar. Messi and they're exactly the same.
But one won the World
They
Cup.
are literally.
One
There's no difference at all.
One won the World Cup, and one was in the World Cup final and had a chance. He didn't.
What did we talk about
Hey,
before the World
I
Cup?
got a hot take, Kaz. I reckon, Kaz, if Aguero wasn't injured during that World Cup, I reckon, and he started, they would have won the
Maybe.
World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I reckon.
definitely.
Because
Aguero
that-
at that time, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's be honest. Messi had the easiest run in that World Cup.
1-0, 0-0 extra time, 1-0.
No, but
Switzerland, he based.
Bosnia and them boys. Oh my God, Nigeria, Bosnia. The Nigerian goalkeeper was laughing with him, brother. What's going on?
Yo Maradona is the only player I think of all time. He's got the most assists and the most goals for Argentina. Till Messi came, till Messi. Maradona, even like he was just Maradona. Boys, you remember something? Like the World Cup, said the World Cup, and even Napoli, his club. He took Napoli to the European Cup final.
A lot of people don't talk about that.
The people don't talk about Napoli.
But they named a stadium after this guy, bro.
He took Napoli. He took his club to the World Cup final without any. Can you name one player that he played in Napoli either? He can't.
there's no argument that he's in the top. I'd say top 2, top 3.
I'm just trying to say, like, imagine this guy was playing right now and he was a professional, proper professional.
And
Like
he wasn't
Messi.
professional.
He would be at the
God,
level of
what can
Messi.
Players were warming up. You know what he's doing? He's doing tricks for the fans. Yeah.
Kaz, this guy was an
He's a
entertainer.
showman,
Hey,
bro.
I reckon he was an entertainer.
He's a
What do you
showman.
mean? Remember when Pablo Escobar got locked up and he had built his own prison? He invited Maradona over because Maradona said, brother, I was playing futsal with them, I was dribbling with them, I was partying with them.
That's pretty
I
much
was
saying
free.
Wallah, but Maradona with the professionalism.
Imagine Maradona with the professionalism.
That's the thing he lacked. That's the
What
thing he lacked.
monster would we have?
But if you put Maradona in this era, with his, because he was a winner. Don't think he was just gullible. He was actually a winner. Messi,
He's a leader. He's a leader.
He's
Not
a
like
leader.
Messi. Yeah.
Like, his teammates actually play for him. He was actually a leader, wallahi. And not one football player can say one negative thing about him, about Maradona. Winner, combination of a winner, carrying a team, skill, impact on football. Come on, man. He's the package. Pele, the black and white shit, is sort of like. It taints his legacy a little bit, like in terms of like
Too far back.
a little bit too far back. A little bit like now we're talking about
I call the Pharaoh time.
back to my father's joke. You know what I mean?
All right, let's move on. Coming in at number 2. All right, I think there's no point. Let's just discuss them both at the same time. Number 2 is Cristiano Ronaldo. Number 1 is Lionel Messi, and Lionel Messi beat him by 10 points.
Well, I'm going to say one thing. Like, this conversation is the ultimate example of recency bias.
Really? I was just about to say?
This is not drinking the Kool-Aid. We're putting Kool-Aid and we're putting sugar in it. It's because he's all you guys remember in your time. Like, and like,
You know why it's not like
You
that?
can't blame it, bro.
And
Because
especially, by the way, especially comes to Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is overrated, bro. Like, and I was a big Ronaldo fan. I'm a big Cristiano Ronaldo fan. Well, last time he's a bit overrated, bro. I'll tell you straight up. He's like,
because you know why? You probably have that opinion because lately you've been watching you play by United. Yeah?
He's actually a very overrated player. Wallahi.
Hassanin.
Even at his peak, he was great
No,
player. But
at
like,
his peak, Hassanin, there is no argument. At his peak, he is deciding games by himself, pulling Real Madrid out of the mud. Barahu. There's no talk.
بالضبط والله.
There's no talk.
كريستيانو قبل شوف تعرف كريستيانو كيف لعب شوفوا كيف قبل ريال مدريد كيف قبل كريستيانو وبعد كريستيانو
Exactly.
ريال مدريد كان عندهم مين؟ كان عندهم فريق اسطوري قبل كريستيانو يجي لكن عملوا شنو؟ بعدين الوقت اللي جاء فيه كريستيانو كان في افضل فريق في التاريخ
he was better.
برشلونة team that team was best team من all
لكن والله مو حسنين on this one. I think he's a very player, bro.
Nah, he's not.
First of all, can I just say something here? Muhammad, you didn't have Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, so please don't talk on it. We didn't even have any of
best
these.
player all time
Wallahi, I'll tell you Cristiano. I put Cristiano 8th. Like I had to put him on my list only because he was a great. I don't know why I put Ronaldo. I'm at United. When he was at United, I actually loved him back into 07, 08, 09. That time he was actually
As much as I love that Ronaldo, the Real Madrid Ronaldo is 10 times better.
well, Wallahi, he's an overrated player. And talk about tappings. Remember talking about Lampard's
You
goal.
still gotta score them, bro.
Remember talking about
You gotta be there to score them as
That was
well.
a goal, brother.
Bro, what do you think a tapping is, bro? is reading the play and being there on time.
Because
That's what happened.
I've scored well in my career, in my life. Huh? I thought it wasn't about my timing.
Because
If
Cristiano
it's
Ronaldo,
that easy, anyone could do it.
Wallahi, that's what they
Hey,
that's
Wallahi,
what
he's a
we
great
tweet about
player, and he's a great. Wallahi, he's a great player, but it's the ultimate recency bias. People
not
putting
Hassan,
in. Wallahi,
it's not. How can you win 5 Champions Leagues, be the top goal scorer in the Champions League history, win a trophy with your country, all of this?
in the Euros? How did he do in the Euros? Was it?
Yeah, the Greece.
Bro, he was here. Jump on, Galem. Jump on, brother. Except the final, he didn't play. The rest of it, they were on his back, bro.
And
He was carrying the whole thing.
These players, all these historian players, they set the records, yeah?
He broke everything.
These guys, Messi and Ronaldo broke them all, bro.
But Messi is a different story.
15 years.
The best player I've ever seen play the game is Lionel Messi. I always say that. Like, the best player I ever saw play is Messi in terms of like Gully and winning everything. Like, but in big me, I tell you how I judge a player. Yeah, when it comes to like the Mount Rushmore, the pinnacle, it's about the big games. I mean, I rate people on big games. That's why I put Ronaldo number 9 so high up there, Maradona, because in big games, that's what separates the great, the actual ultra great. Wallahi, you know, that's what separates them. Because those games only come few. Mbappe's heading that way. Mbappe, like, Mbappe's actually in that direction where that's why Neymar falls off. That's why a few players fall off. Wallahi, I think like because those big games only come 2-3 times in a career, in the whole life. So for them to actually shine in those moments, and Ronaldo, I don't remember him doing that. Tell me the final that Ronaldo like took. What final? Which final did it take you away?
Oh no! The first Champions League he won, he scored the header to get him to the penalty. He just missed the penalty.
I actually forgot about that one. That's good. Seems cool.
Ronaldo always, and every Champions League he does up. Cristiano Ronaldo's always there.
No, he's always there. He always scores. Wallah, Hassan.
Ronaldo, by the way,
the one where Barcelona won, he didn't
but
score.
that's Messi.
No, when he wins the
Barcelona had his
every
number.
time
Barcelona had
he
his
won
number.
it, I think he scored.
But you know what I say is, there's one thing I wish Messi had, that Ronaldo has, that vocal.
Because his teammates hate Ronaldo. What are you saying, man?
Yeah,
his teammates hate him, bro.
No. In a team where they're all world-class players like Real Madrid, it works. But in a team like United now, where he's trying to
Only
drag
Pogba.
some dog shit behind him.
That's the issue. But yeah, of course. But his but that's his standards. Yeah, that's his standards. But I'm saying, imagine Messi had that. I reckon if Messi had that in Argentina, bro, just sprays his players half-time, tells them, boys, step up, blah, blah, it would have changed the whole culture of the national team.
What Messi did against Man United?
2011?
Oh my God.
2011?
I think look, when it comes to this debate, wallahi, I'm not even trying to say this is recency bias or anything. I don't think there has been anything like this in sports history. 2 players dominating the game for 15 years and no one coming close to them. I don't think this has ever happened. This is not recency bias.
This is an appreciation thing.
Pele didn't have that. Maradona didn't have that. Jordan didn't have it like this. No sport has ever had something like this before.
Yeah, wallah.
Messi, Ronaldo, that's historic. And that'll probably never happen again.
In 50 years, we're gonna argue. We're gonna say Messi and Ronaldo. And no, like the kids, the great grandkids, they're gonna talk Messi and Ronaldo. They're not gonna say Xavi, Iniesta.
Wallahi,
They will not. They will. This 15-year period, there is no argument.
Oh, Wallah, they will. And I'll tell you why. The players that played with Maradona and Pele, they never went anywhere else. Xavi and Iniesta, they won these players that won before him, they won after him. These are great players, bro. I'll give you an example. France in 1998. We talk about Zidane. Zidane was the best player in that team, wasn't he? We talk about other players in that team too, don't we? We talk about Lille Thuram, we talk about Henry, we talk about Trezeguet, we talk about these great players. So no, you won't say that, Wallah, to make your argument. The reason I remember these teams because they're actually great teams. It's not because they're too far to remember the argument. That's wrong.
Kaz, I'm telling you, Kaz, back then, Kaz, for stats, you got to go into the newspaper, go to page 43. You're going through a list of names, Kaz, you're hearing it on the radio.
You gotta have some knowledge.
You got to have actual knowledge, Kaz.
You missed my point. These players that they played with, they actually weren't that great. Pele, I tell you what team Pele had a great team with? 1970. 1970? See? How do you know that?
Because documentaries. Anyway.
Thank you very much. You get my point? Garincha, Rivellino, the 1970 team, everyone remembers it because that's the greatest team of all time, greatest team.
Yeah, that Brazil team was an all-star team. But what Hassan
the
said...
2 World Cups before that, when he won, no one talks about that. I tell you why? Because there actually weren't that many great players on him.
No one else.
There actually weren't great players on him. You get my argument?
What the point that Hassanin said, the first point, okay. But we're not even saying that Messi and Ronaldo scored more goals than Pele. All we're making our judgments on is the current achievements, as in trophies with their team, and then their performances, just with the eye test. And the second point where you said They carried their team. They carried their team because the level was not as high. No, it is not.
Well,
There is no way a player is able to carry a whole team by themselves at this day and age.
I'll shoot on that argument. If Pele had a nutritionist, and Maradona had a nutritionist, and they had a dietitian, and they had trainers.
No. It's not about Pele. It's the players around him. It's the competition that he's playing in. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's impossible to carry a team right now by yourself like the way that Maradona or Pele is doing it.
Sport is at the highest point right now.
You're playing against Van Dijk.
Because they're talking about the competitiveness in general.
The way the game.
I'll give you an example of a player that doesn't carry his team, but wherever he goes, remember, might be a bad example, but N'Golo Kante. It's not a coincidence that every team he goes to, they start winning automatically.
He is in a crucial position in the team, and he himself is a super athlete. Fast, strong, tenacious, everything. That's why he stands out. But that's what I'm saying.
No.
Tell these guys to go lay the rest of the competition back when Pele played. Niggas had Kirash and no
Guys,
legs.
there'll be like 3 good players in the team, and then the rest just do the bare minimum.
Let's be honest.
They do their part. Messi, Ronaldo are playing with the best defenders, the best midfielders, and best attackers right now.
Did you know Pele could run 100? You know he can run 100 meters in 10 seconds.
That's exactly. Could anyone else come even close? No, and that's our point.
Yeah.
Put Pele in the Premier League
Today.
He's not scoring 1,200 goals. That's for sure.
No way.
Put Maradona in the Premier League today. Put anyone from back then in the Premier League today. Wallahi, it's too much. It's way harder.
Defenders were good. By the way, attacking and midfield was not be as great as that. Now defenders were actually defenders like that.
I got the sauce. I got the sauce. I got the juice. You other niggas look confused. I got the sauce. Yeah, I got the sauce. I got the soul. Nigga, I got the soul.